Greetings and salutations, book lovers. My name is Samantha, and today we are doing another book haul. I feel like that's really my brand at this point. I just impulse buy books constantly. So let's get into it. As always, this is like a mosh posh of books that I've gotten in the past couple of weeks. A few are from my used bookstore and a few are from Book Outlet. Those are where I find the best sales. I will link the video down below where I took you guys with me to the bookstore that I go to. They normally have amazing historical romances. So I'll link that video down below, and I will also link my Book Outlet link down below if you guys are interested in using it. Their shipping takes a while, I will say that, even if it's not like a holiday or a special event. Their shipping takes a while, where I live at least. But they have such a great selection and great prices that it sort of just balances itself out. Alright, enough rambling. Let's just get into this book haul. Okay, so I'm so excited. The entire reason that I placed this book haul was for this gorgeous illustrated edition of The Jungle Book. This is such a stunning edition. Like, I just want to scream. It's still in the plastic wrapping just because I'm like terrified of taking it out of this plastic wrapping. It's too pretty. Jungle Book is one of my absolute favorite Disney movies. I think it has hands down one of the best Disney soundtracks ever. I loved reading the book when I was a kid, so this is just like such a good nostalgic book for me. As you guys know, I'm trying to read more classics in 2020, so I think this is a great addition. Should I open it? Oh, I really don't want to. It's too pretty. Okay, we're going to open it because obviously I'm going to read it, so I guess keeping it in the plastic is kind of pointless. Oh, I should have opened this before the video. There we go. My claws opened it. So pretty! Just look at this. I saw this in Haley's. Beautiful. I saw this in Haley's book haul, and I knew I instantly needed it. Oh my gosh. The illustrations are so stunning. I'm really excited to read this with the kids. I can't. I think they have like a Peter Pan one as well, but they didn't have that one on Book Outlet. But this is such an amazing, beautiful edition that they had on their website, and it was such a good price too. So if they still have it, I will link it down below for you guys because, come on, this is gorgeous. So kind of on the realm of classics, I was at my used bookstore and I saw this illustrated edition of Island of the Blue Dolphins. I remember reading this book in the 4th grade specifically. I believe it was either the 3rd or 4th grade. And it was a really impactful book when I first read it. It was definitely one of those books that kind of like launched me into reading. This is also an emotional book, so I'm curious to see how reading it as an adult would be. Another throwback, and this is like on the opposite side of the spectrum. This is totally not a classic. This was one of the very first series I remember reading, and that was the House of Night series by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. I remember loving this series so much. This was my Twilight before Twilight. So it's a vampire series, and I think there's like 12 books in this series. I'm not even sure. So this is 2 books in one, the first and second book in this series. We'll see. I was reading some reviews recently on Goodreads for this book, and a lot of people were pointing out some very problematic things in this series, and not only in this series but with these authors writing in general. So I am pretty interested to reread this as an adult and see how it holds. Alright, so the rest of these books I don't really know the plot to. Are you surprised? I impulse buy a lot, so some of these we're just gonna breeze through. I love this book cover. The first one that I got is The Wren Hunt by Mary Watson. Black and gold or black and red books I'm a sucker for, and that's partially why I picked this book up. Let me just read you the synopsis because I actually don't remember what this book's about. It says, once a year, Wren is chased through the woods near her rural Ireland hometown in a warped version of a childhood game. Her pursuers belong to the Judges, a group in control of an ancient, powerful magic they stole from her own people, the Argurs? Don't know how to pronounce that. But they know nothing of her real identity. If they learn the truth, the game would surely turn deadly. I don't need to know anything else. That sounds amazing. So this one I bought because I have heard a lot about it. This is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. And it looks like this. As far as I know, this is like a Beauty and the Beast retelling, like a fantasy retelling of Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, Beauty and the Beast retelling. Cursed prince turns into a beast. A girl's gonna save him. and the kingdom. Pretty sure there's romance. I'm into it. I'm ready for it. I think this is a series. I think the second book is coming out soon, if I'm not mistaken. So very excited to read this. I got 2 anthologies. I love anthologies. They're some of my favorite books to read. If you are new to reading, or if you're like trying to bump up your reading stats and read a little bit more, I think anthologies are a great way to go because you can read like a short story a day. Okay, so the first one we have is Exo Orpheus 50 New Myths, and it has a lot of authors, but it's edited by Kate Bernheimer. I hope I pronounced that correctly. The reason I picked this up is because these are a bunch of short stories of retellings of Greek mythology. I recently read Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, and that was so good. It was so heartbreaking, but it was so good. And I remember being in high school and reading a lot of Greek mythology and enjoying it, so I thought it would be fun to pick up an anthology. Also edited by the same person. This is My Mother, She Killed Me, My Father, He Ate Me. That just sounds so weird, but I think these are retellings of like the original fairy tales from the Grimm brothers. Yeah, I thought these were really cool and fun to pick up. I'm very excited to read it. I love reading fairy tales and Greek mythology, so these just sounded like the perfect anthologies for me. The one that I picked up is Comics Will Break Your Heart by Faith Enrin Hicks. This cover again is so pretty. This just sounded like a super cute, fluffy romance. It follows our main character Miriam, who belongs in a family who should have a lot of money because of the comics that her grandfather made, but he had sold the rights to someone else, and there's like this big family feud. She ends up going to school with the grandson of the person who took the rights of her father's comics, so I think it's like an enemies to lovers situation, and I'm very excited for it. So this next one is Stay Sweet by Sibihan Vivian. I've heard and seen a lot about this book, but I don't really know the plot. It was literally 79 cents on Book Outlet. Pretty sure this is another fluffy romance. My favorite, you guys know. I believe this takes place in an ice cream shop and romance ensues. What else do you need to know? So she works at this ice cream shop that has been there for many, many years. It's her summer job, but it's really important to her. And then someone tries to come and take over the shop. So is this another enemies to lovers? I don't know. We'll find out, and yeah, just sounds super cute. The next book is The Deepest Roots by Miranda Acevedo. This sounded like a really cool fantasy when I saw it on the Book Outlet website. The book follows 3 friends, Rome, Lex, and Mercy. They each have their own like magical powers, which always sounds interesting. And they're sort of just discovering themselves, how those powers fit into their friendship and into their lives. About a curse and their friendship being tested. Sounds like a good time. I should probably read the synopsises before I film the video. Those were all the books that I got from Book Outlet. I'm very excited about all of them. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to some historical romances that I got at my used bookshop. I have a lot of Lisa Kleypas's books. She is a very well-known historical romance author that I've heard a lot of good things about, especially from Lacey Book Lovers. She talks about Lisa Kleypas all the time, so when I saw her in the bookstore, I just grabbed some that looked interesting. First one is Suddenly You, which I love a good red book cover. You guys know this. Next is Secrets of a Summer Night. This is part of the Wallflowers series. Next, I got Again the Magic, and lastly, I got Sugar Daddy, which is a hardcover. Not too sure what these books are about. I just picked them up because I know I've heard great things about the author and they sounded pretty interesting. I made sure they were all the first in the series because I know that she writes a lot of series. So very excited to kind of just test out her writing and hopefully find a new historical romance author that I love. 3 more books. We have How to Forget a Duke by Vivian Loritz. Man of My Dreams by Johanna Lindsey. I have never read a Johanna Lindsey before. I know that is like blasphemy in the romance community, so I definitely want to rectify that, and hopefully this one will be a good one to start with. And lastly, I mean, this one counts as historical romance, right? This is Dragonfly in Amber by Diana Gabaldon. This is the second book in the Outlander series. I do have the first book somewhere right here. It's right above me. Have not read the series, have not seen the TV series, but I've heard nothing but good things, especially from Jess from Peace Love Books. So I picked it up because I have full intention of reading the series. So those were all the books that I bought. I need to chill with the book buying for a while. need to read more books than I'm buying, or hopefully that's the goal. Anyways, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend time with me. It means the world to me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!